What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So I got a question to pose to the public. Would you leave your significant other if they freeze in a moment of despair, right? If you're in a hectic situation and it's like some chaotic situation or something crazy happens, if your significant other freezes in the event that situation happens to you, like, would you leave them? I asked that question because I was watching The Breakfast Club and Miss Tamron Hall was on there. And Tamron was speaking about when she was engaged to a guy and they went vacationing somewhere and they were paragliding. And when she was paragliding, the paragliding thing broke and then she fell into the ocean. They were in a large body of water in the ocean. She fell in the ocean. Now, we want to say this. I want to say this. She had a life jacket on and stuff like that. So she had it on. She wasn't drowning, but she fell into the water. Of course, she got scared. And she said she looked for her fiance. He didn't jump in the water at all to come get her. Now, to be fair to her, she did say he spent many years of his life as a lifeguard, so he knew how to swim. And she was upset that he didn't come in and jump in that water immediately. Now, the people that ran the paragliding event, they got her out of the water or whatever, but she was looking at it because I think another guy jumped in the water or something like that. And she looking like, you just gonna leave me here? You're not gonna come and protect me and come save me? And so she said because of that, she broke off the engagement. They went their separate ways. It was what it was. Even when Charlamagne asked, like, what did he say? Like, what did he say? What excuse did he give for not jumping in the water? She said it was so long ago she doesn't even remember. She left it in the past, but she know he was not the man for her in so many words. I'm paraphrasing, but she knew he was not the man for her in that situation. So I ask you all, if you were in a situation of despair and your significant other freezes, would you leave them? Because that's a real thing, right? He may have been, despite him being a lifeguard, he may have just been so much in shock that he just didn't know what to do and he froze at that moment. And then, you know what I mean, he couldn't even admit that he froze because it would probably make him look weak as a man that he didn't jump in the water to come get his lady out of water, right? But it really happens. There have been tragic situations that occur where people just ultimately freeze. They freeze up, they're in so much shock, they don't know what to do, and they just sitting there just like, oh my God, like a bump on the law, they don't know what to do, they're stuck. And that happens. Charlamagne also presented the alternative argument in the gentleman's favor by saying, hey, he may have been versed to swimming in bodies of water that are small, but it's the difference between being a lifeguard and swimming in a pool versus swimming in an ocean, right? And my thing is this. I personally feel like, I don't know if she may have jumped the gun. I think she jumped the gun by like just getting rid of him in the first place. Oh, it's over, right? Me personally, I can't swim, so I know I wouldn't even fit the criteria. Like, I know, like, I can't just come and be Aquaman and come get you. Now, if there was nobody around and the paragliding people over the event couldn't get her, I would just jump in the water and try to see what I could do, right? But here's the thing. There's a real thing where people absolutely go into shock when tragic situations happen. I've seen certain situations where people, like something happens to a person and the people they're so in shock. They don't even know, like, oh my God, call 911. They're so shocked they don't know what to do. They just like fumbling, fidgeting around. They can't even remember to call 911. So I've heard of situations like that happening and occurring. So people do freeze. But would you leave your significant other if they froze in a situation like that? And I was like, man, I don't know. I feel like Tamron probably she didn't really want to be with him in the first place. I feel like she really wasn't feeling him like that ultimately. And so that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And she like, this shit over with. Not divorce. We breaking off the engagement. Engagement off. Ain't no wedding. We done. Finito. It's over. Put a fork in it. Take the L out of lover, brother. It's over. I feel like that was really what she was on. She probably didn't really... She probably saw some signs she ain't liking him anyway. But she really wasn't into him like that. And she figured that out. So when that incident happened, that was just like, okay, that's the cherry on top. It's time for me to hit the dough. Right? Because I'm wondering, man, some people really do freeze. That's a real thing. You know, but to be fair, to play devil's advocate, I will say this. If my children fall in some water, and even if I can't swim, my first instinct is to go on there and get my babies out of the water. So that is a real thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know which way to go with it, but I really want to ask y'all, if you're in a situation of despair, like, and your significant other freezes, especially the man, like, would you break up with that person? Like, you know what I mean? Like, in this situation in particular, do you think Tamron Hall was wrong for breaking up with her significant other? I really think I feel like she didn't even give him a chance to really explain himself or a chance to really say where he was coming from with it or so on and so forth, because it wasn't like she was going to drown. She wasn't going to drown. She had the life jacket on. The people were also there. They knew how to swim. They were there to get her out of there immediately. She wasn't just sitting there for a long time. They came and got her immediately. And she had a life jacket on. She was floating. Her argument is that I was in the deepest part of the ocean. I don't know what creatures are in the water or whatever. But it's like, damn, if it was a shark too, he was going to get bit up too. But the thing is, of course, when it's you and your lady, you're going to go ahead and go save your lady. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's trying to get her. But my point is that she was in a situation where she was not going to drown. Those people that were working the paragliding events, they got her out immediately. So she was going to be okay. She was going to be protected. I just feel like she jumped the gun by getting rid of him. I feel like that was just a sign she wasn't into him in the first place. Not even giving him a chance to explain the situation. But I'm wondering, like, would you leave somebody, like, you know, if they respond in that manner? I feel like, nah, I think she should have given him another chance, explain himself, and then, you know, go from there. Now, in the event of a situation like this, right? If you got a woman, and I'm going to say this right here. If there's a man messing with your woman, and you don't defend your woman, even if you can't fight, that's grounds to break up with a significant other, right? Because at some point, you have to be like, I got to protect my woman, because the man is supposed to be a protector, and so on and so forth. So if a man trying to put hands on your woman, and then you say, I can't fight, I'm going to back out, I'm going to let it go, I feel like that's grounds for you to be, you know, for your woman to break up with you. Not break up with her, the woman shouldn't break up with him if he loses a fight or whatever, but you're supposed to defend the honor of your woman and your children. So I believe in that for sure. Now, but in the situation where it's like, oh my God, he didn't jump in the water immediately, even though she was wearing a life jacket, and the lifeguard with the people that was over the event, they could swim and they got her out of there immediately. I feel like she jumped the gun with that one. She was not in danger at that moment. She was not going to drown. They were going to get her out of there. She just looking at it like, oh, he know how to swim. Why he didn't come get me? I just think she didn't take into account that he was just probably in a state of shock and he didn't know what to do. That's a real thing. I've watched enough TV to see people go into shock, like I said, where somebody is killed or somebody is shot and they just forget how to dial 911. They forget their address. They forget their name, so on and so forth. So those things occur, and I think she didn't take into account that type of situation was possible, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.